Hi guys, welcome to our week 1 discussion. I'm going to show you how to use the spot healing brush tool in Photoshop. And so we were given an image for our week 2 assignment, and this is a great example because there's a lot of little blemishes. They're not huge, but there's enough where they actually distract you from the overall image. And so we're going to go from this image, and we're going to go to this image. I'm going to go ahead and do my adjustments to the image. I have to fit this to the screen. Now, we want to do non-destructive editing, which is very important in Photoshop. So to do that, what we will do is take our background layer right here. You'll drag it to the new layer icon at the very bottom, and it will create a background copy. And I'll go ahead and double click that and rename it to Spot Healing. That way we can kind of view a before and after by clicking the icon. And so our Spot Healing Brush tool is over here on the tools bar, and you can get to it quickly by pressing the J key on your keyboard. And the Spot Healing Brush tool, you have pretty much a brush, and you can adjust the size by pressing the left and right bracket keys on your keyboard. Press the right to increase the size, press the left to decrease the size. And so you want the Spot Healing Brush tool a little bit bigger than the spot you want to remove. And it's just as easy as pointing and clicking. And so you can get really extensive to remove these. And what Photoshop does, it's pretty much sampling the pixels around the spot you're removing and replacing those pixels you're removing with new pixels. See, we're getting rid of all the distracting blemishes, and you can get really detailed. Like I want to zoom in here. And get all these bumps. I like her moles right here, so I'm going to go ahead and keep those because it adds a little bit of individualism to the image. Adds personality. All right, and so Spot Healing also does a great job of, see, we have a stray hair here. That's pretty distracting, so I'm going to adjust my brush size pretty small. And you can also click and drag. Now it's not perfect. You can see it left some behind, so I can go back over that with the brush again. And it did a great job of removing the hair and replacing it with different pixels. And see, she has some hair sticking out here that distract from the overall composition. You have to be careful where you go. So say I went over here and I removed a blemish right next to her eyebrow. Well, Photoshop sampled the pixels from her eyebrow and copied them over to the area I wanted to remove. And so that looks a little awkward now. And so I'm going to Command Z or Control Z to undo that. And so you have to be careful of the pixels that are surrounding the blemish you are removing, because Photoshop, I mean, it's not perfect, it's a computer, and it'll only do what you tell it to do. And so you have to be wary of which pixels you are removing and the pixels around it. And so I can zoom in here. I can get really detailed in all the spots I want to remove. And that's pretty straightforward. Spot healing is a really easy tool. It'll become one of your best friends in photo retouching. And that's pretty much how it works. You see she has a dark spot right here. And so I gotta be careful about right here next to the hairline. See, now that spot's removed. And so when you're working, you have to step back for a bit and look at the whole picture. And sometimes when you're working so closely, you can't see how many changes you have made. And so that's why we've done non-destructive editing. And so I can go over here and click on the eye icon right next to my spot healing layer, and it removes the visuals of what we've done in spot healing. And so you can see the difference, the dramatic difference it's made in the distracting areas that we removed. And that is pretty much how you use the spot healing tool. Just always be sure to do non-destructive editing and make a copy of your background layer. And it's as easy as pointing and clicking. Just be wary of the pixels surrounding the blemish you are removing. So I hope y'all enjoy, and I can't wait to see y'all's tutorials y'all do on other tools in Photoshop. Thank you. Goodbye.